are live.
Since 1863, Blacks in this country have struggled with ownership. We struggled initially with the ownership of identity, then rules, then rights, followed by money, wealth, and credit, which has become the new currency. But where's the turnaround? How long will we wait for someone to hand us something? Arguably, one of the best ways to attain wealth in the United States is by literally owning a piece of that state property. But how? Tonight, our guest has taken her experience as a woman, a Black person, and instead of leaning on that as a crutch, decided to make her own destiny. We have credit repair expert, real estate superstar, Airbnb owner, wife, mom, and a woman whom I couldn't be more proud to call family, Miss Tan Akles-Fitch. Welcome to the private stock.
Yay, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey man, hold on. Stop for a second. Welcome. Man, hold on. Get them titles another go around. Hold on. Back for me.
All right, so we credit repair expert, real estate superstar, Airbnb owner, wife, mom, cousin, sister. Listen, she doesn't.
Listen, the list goes on, okay?
Okay, so I said don't pick me first, but I have a question.
And she wait, but and she Black though. That's my favorite part about it. Okay.
Melanated. Let's roll. Carla, kick us off.
So with all of that, like your real estate, you have Airbnbs, your mom, how do you balance all of that? That's what I'm curious to know, because as a mom, for me, like it's really challenging to balance.
Yes, great question, Carla.
So like, how do you balance all of that?
I am a free spirit, honestly. I roll with punches. Like literally, I roll with them. Like there's not enough time in the day. You're going to forever be behind. And I always try to build Rome in a day, but I've learned to realize that it's not possible. It don't matter if I work 24 hours, I'm still going to have something to do in that 25th hour. And so just once I learned that, and once I started using and implementing that, it just kind of like, hey, you just wake up and it's just like, let's get it.
Just falls into day.
Yeah. Okay. My thing is though, I do like to kind of time block to where I can say, okay, this is happening this time, this is happening this time, this is happening, because it keeps me on track. Other than that, like I may have people call me and I forget about them if I don't put them in my calendar
to call them back, huh? Text them back.
Yeah. So I'm pretty good to, time block things like, hey, this is happening at this time, or whatever. And just making sure that at that time I'm where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be, and how I'm supposed to be. So.
You've always been like big on like organization and like time and time management, right? So like this interview like almost not happened like 3 times, right? Because first it was like 8:00 this morning. She's like, hey, you can send me the link, and I was like, no, I meant PM. and then again with like I couldn't even find the link. So how important is time management, do you think, in terms of being able to like conquer it? Like what, like as a free spirit, like it's kind of like it's almost like the opposite, right? Like you got time management over here and you have to be somewhere, but you're also a free spirit. Like how do you balance that battle within your own person?
Yes, I like to call it organized chaos. Like I look organized on the front end. Y'all will think I'm organized, but back here I'm like, sweet, all right. I was like, okay, it's 8:00. I went to the spa before I came home, and I was like, okay, it's 8:00. All right, I got 15 minutes to get home, get everything set up, and then I was like, okay. And I looked at my emails. I was like, okay, I'm not sure if we're still on or if I missed if it's Central Standard Time, Central Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. Like, I was like, let me just shoot him a quick text and figure out. So, you just, like I said, you roll, you're organized, but you just roll with the punches at the same time. It's really organized chaos. You can never really be organized when you have so much going on.
Yeah.
Going on. It's just, it's not possible. You can say, hey, I'm going to do this at this time. And, I had just recently at the Airbnb, I just had lightning. We had a storm here. We were out of town in Arizona, and lightning struck the Airbnb, and a tenant, like a person was in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you gotta
Yeah.
be organized. But
Yeah.
sometimes you have those curveballs that that get thrown in there and you have to just maneuver, you know. So
Bad E.
Um, first off, you got so many. You wear so many hats. I don't know which question to hit you with first. Um, how long? How does one get a real estate license, and how long does it take, or how long have you been doing it?
yeah,
Oh,
so
no,
I
that
was
was a
an
stat question.
investor, but I'm sorry, what was the last part?
I said that was a stat question. My bad.
That's okay. So I was actually an investor before I became a realtor. And then when I bought my own house, I kind of peeped at what the real estate agent made. And I'm like, I can do this. And I really didn't get great customer service when I bought my house. Like literally, I fired my realtor because she would say stuff to me like, hey, I can't show you tonight. My son's got a soccer game, or hey, I can't tonight. Me and my husband's got date night. I can't show you tonight,
Girl,
and I was just like,
that's
oh,
unprofessional.
right, right. And so even when I went to school, when you go to school, you can go online and sometimes you can knock it out in like a week, honestly. If you buckle down and don't have a job, you can knock it out in a week and go ahead and do what you need to do. But we do offer classes at the office that are 9 and 10 week classes, to where you can come every Tuesday and Wednesday nights from 6 to 9:30. Mark is hosting that class for me tonight. So that's always good to have somebody that can step in your shoes and stuff. But yeah, so you can get a real estate license actually fairly quickly, and it's one of the most lucrative things you can do without ending up with a whole lot of student loan debt. So I love it.
So why? I mean, if it's so like simple, right, and so lucrative, like why is it that 40.6% of like Black people go without owning homes or without even like doing research? What do you think holds us back as a community?
Yeah, so a lot of people think you have to have $20,000-$30,000 to put down on a house. A lot of people think they can't buy because their credit's not good enough. They don't know that there's programs out there for people with even 550 credit scores that can buy houses. So if you got a 550 and up, now you do need 10% down on a 550, but if you got a 580, 3.5% down, there's programs for that. There's down payment assistance programs in every state. So like if you've got a 620, you can get any of the down payment assistance.
Even in California?
In
Because I'm in
California,
Cali. Okay.
yes, it's called
Okay.
Shanoa. So if
Okay.
you find a realtor out there, I actually have a realtor out there in Cali. I don't know what part you're in. Shout out to Miss Kim. Woo-hoo.
Okay.
She's my realtor in Cali. But there's a program called Shanoa that you can go through if you don't have like down payment money and
Okay.
things like that can assist you with home
Okay.
buying.
I wrote it down. I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Kendra, talk to us.
Okay. So so like in the Black community, we don't really pay a lot, or we don't understand the importance of credit, right? And then when we turn 18 and we don't have any credit, they start sending us credit cards, right? And then we take those credit cards, we max them out, and we already in debt with bad credit, right? So my question is, what do you recommend for that young 18-year-old person that is being sent credit cards? What would be the first step if I was 18 and got a credit card? What would you tell me to do?
Well, first of all, I think we as parents have to be more responsible. Like my son's credit scores is higher than mine right now. But he's authorized users on my credit cards, and he has been for the last 5 years, to where he learned responsible spending. When he got his first credit card, it was my Amex, which is a charge card. It's not a credit card, it's a charge card, which means that it have no limits. Well, he's a drummer by nature, and he ordered all this stuff off Amazon, not realizing that I have to pay that bill at the end of the month because it's a charge card and not a credit card. So as a parent, I was able to teach him early on when he bought that stuff, like, hey, that's your birthday, that's your Christmas, that's everything that you're getting for this year. Because, like he just
Right.
just swiped him. But that what he did taught him, early on how to kind of manage things, and he had to work to kind of pay those things off. Like it wasn't easy. Like when his birthday came, I'm like, you got anything new to open with your drum stuff, that you ordered 3 months ago, whatever. So that taught him as a mom, he made that, he got it, we gave it to him,
Mm-hmm.
We saw his actions, we corrected those actions. And then so now that he's 19, my son graduated at 16. He was out of the house at 18. He had already been enrolled in college. Like, he's done it. He's got it. He's 19 now. He's got his first rental property that he's renting out.
Okay.
So he's, it's
Okay.
fine, but it's up to us as parents to teach them that kind of behavior. Like, hey,
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna make you go to college. Like, he went to college and he went for like auto body and mechanic. Now he's wrecked his car twice, but he fixed it back himself.
Okay. Okay.
So, I'm like, I'm not the type of parent that's gonna push him to go to college if he don't want to go, because I know there are other avenues where he can make a lot more money without having to go to college,
Mm-hmm.
get in student loan debt and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And I know people that are $100,000 in student loan debt and they make $24,000 a year. The
Mm-hmm.
numbers don't make sense,
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I wasn't the mom that pushed him to go to college. I've tried to push him to real estate school, but he don't want to do that. He'd rather go wholesale. But today he found a house that he wanted to bid on. He's like, Mom, I want to flip it. I can't be mad at
Okay.
that. I'm there for it. So,
Okay.
as parents, I think it's not necessarily up to our kids for when they get 18. You
Mm-hmm.
teach them early. When they start wanting to go to the store to buy things, 13, 14, 15, we need to be having them on our cards. Okay, this is your allowance. Your allowance is on this card for this week. And you
Mm.
get $100 for
Mm.
the month, or $25 a week, or whatever you decide to give them for their allowance. And that's what they can spend on that card. And if they exceed that, then there's consequences. And
Right.
if they're able to
Right.
manage that, then when they get 18 and 19, they are using their credit to buying whole rentals, or buying hold,
Yeah.
or a fix and flip, or whatever.
Yeah. Um. Okay. So so I have a follow up to that question, if that's okay.
Mhm.
But so what about if you grew up in a family where they weren't aware of credit either? So if we have a viewer that, like, for example, I love my parents to death, but they were not the most credit savvy.
Mhm.
So they didn't
You speak for
install
all of
that
us
into.
right now.
That's what I'm saying. But
You speak for us.
they didn't install that into us. And the great thing about the internet is we never know who could come across our video. So to the 18-year-old that did not have a parent installing this information into them as a child, and they're young and they get a credit card, what would you tell them to do?
Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna make mistakes, because when you don't have people to teach you,
Yeah.
you're gonna learn that hard lesson. Like, I learned that hard lesson. I was 21 years old. I was married and lost everything. I'm
Oh.
talking about, I thought I had it going on. I had me, girl, a triple wide trailer. Thought a trailer was everything when I was 21. And I was married and literally lost it all. When I tell you lost it all, I'm talking about sleeping in my car, lost it all. Because I was
Mm.
too embarrassed to go to my family and tell them everything that
Yeah.
was really going on in my life. But I took those situations, I took those circumstances, I had judgment, repossessions, everything on my credit report. Nobody would give me that second chance except one lady, Miss Judy Kirkland. Shout out to her right now, girl. And she owner financed me a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. And I seen that ad in the paper and I'm just like, oh, well, I get to the house to go see it. Y'all, it's got fleas, it's got 12 cats living on the inside. It had dead cats under it. It had termites swarming the outside. But guess what? I bought that house. I bought that house. I added a 20 by 24 great room onto it. I mean, it had broken windows. My Uncle Scott came in and put new window panes in for me. I couldn't afford new window panes. They $7 at Lowe's. I couldn't afford it, but nobody could put me out of that because it was mine. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
she owner financed that to me. And I told Miss Kirkland, I said, Miss Kirkland, I just want to thank you so much. Because when you got bad credit, you can't rent anywhere. Nobody wants to rent to you because they feel like they're not going to get their money.
Yeah.
And so Miss Kirkland gave me that second chance, and she was like, "Well, baby, I'm getting old. I really want to just sell it." And I said, "Miss Kirkland, just give me 5 years to get myself together." I didn't know how long it was going to take me to get myself together.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, girl, I was working paycheck to paycheck. I mean, it was just rough on a single mom, like
Yeah.
freshly coming out of some stuff that you had with other people, and thought
Mhm.
that income would
Mhm.
always be there. So it was a disaster. So people see me now and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you got it going on," but they don't know my real story
Yeah.
that it took for me to get to where I am now. And
Yeah.
so that was one of the things that kind of helped me get up over the hump. You know, we added that 20 by 24 great room onto it. And my now husband actually bought that house from me and we split the profit. And that's what got us started.
Nice.
But we had to take those baby steps to go get floor. We had to buy a box. I had to buy a box a week. Every time I got a paycheck, I had to go buy a box of floor. And eventually, in like a year, I had enough floor to do my house. You know, I mean, when I say baby steps,
Yeah.
I'm talking true baby steps. And now we sit here, we got 23 rentals, we got a trailer park. I'm the broker owner. I bought into a Remax franchise. You know, he's got a construction company. So now but it took baby steps to get there. You know, it wasn't just an overnight success or anything like that. When I tell you baby steps, girl, I'm talking about true baby steps, because I meant like literally. The house was so bad, y'all. I slept on the couch, but the fleas was jumping on me on the couch. I mean, it was really bad. But that was my house. My Uncle Scott came and he bombed that house, and I started getting peaceful sleeps and stuff. I don't do animals. I'm just not an animal lover.
Me either, girl. Not even fish.
And so, but just the road to get there was like, okay, like I got myself on track. And then, you know, we waited a little while, and then the master bedroom had 2 closets. We turned one of those closets into a bathroom. So then it became a 3-2, added that 20 by 24 great room. That $50,000 house became a $139,000 sale. We split that profit, and it kind of went from there. So
nice.
That's the true story. After the foreclosures and repossessions, and all that stuff on my credit report, like I literally didn't, I didn't have anybody. I mean, and I found that ad in the buy and sell bulletin, you know, from that little house. Girl, that little house, I know why nobody bought that house. But I was just like, you know what? This is where I can stay and not have to sleep in my car. And I'm just gonna have to suck it up, buttercup, you know. But it just is what it is, girl. And when I tell you I was broke, broke. I'm talking about like broke. And I ain't trying to get too graphic on this, you know, on the podcast or anything like that.
Get graphic.
I'm talking about so broke, you driving through the drive-throughs for a cup of water and extra napkins for that time of month. I'm talking about gross broke.
Yeah.
You know, like it was. So my struggle was real.
Real.
You know, my mom's side of the family was poor. All of them, we all grew up poor, but we didn't know we was poor. My dad.
Talk about that.
My dad's side of the family, my dad's always owned a business. But when I moved in with my dad, he used to wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning to work in the family business before I went to school. So from 3 to 6 every morning, if I wanted to go somewhere on the weekends, I had to work them 15 hours during that week to have money for the weekend. You know, and so that instilled the work ethic in me and stuff like that. And then the flow just kind of, you know, I developed it as an adult, and it kind of went from there. And sometimes I don't know how to turn off, but sometimes, you know.
I get that. Eric, you're muted.
So Tan, I remember that you having to go to work for Uncle Dennis first before we were trying to go to like skating rinks and everything. But can you kind of talk about how work ethic goes hand in hand with education and information when it comes to like bringing up our children, right? It's important to provide them with the information, but it's also important to provide them with the fact that like nothing comes for free. Can you kind of talk about that like a little bit?
Yeah. So my son actually works for me now. You know, he tried to work for corporate America. He started out at like top of the river, and then he got a manufacturing job and things like that. And it's at some point it become it's not cool to work for mom. But then it became cool to work for mom. For some reason, he's been fired like 4 times, but it took me to fire him those 4 times in order for him. When he came back this time, it's been almost a year now where he's been solid, you know, but, you know, he had to go. I wanted him to go experience workplaces everywhere else to where you can't lag, you can't be late. No, I'm not allowing you to be late, because that's setting the standard in the office that you can do what you want to if everybody else have to be here on time and you come dragging in. I don't allow it. So he got fired 4 times.
Wait, you fired him 4 times.
Okay. Oh, I don't play. We work around here. If you want anything in life, you're gonna work for it.
I thought he got fired from 4 different places, but you fired him 4 times.
I fired him. Well, actually, he got fired from those places too. You know, well, I think top of the river. He quit, and then the manufacturing job, they just told him that He,
They took him off the schedule.
He had my son had one swag and that's slow. He just got. So it's just and unless it's drums. Now if it's drums, you got an A1 player, but that's his passion. He's been playing drums at a church since he was 12, so he's always had income and stuff like that. But it's just teaching him, hey, I don't have to leave you anything, even though you're my only. What I do leave you, you will work in the family business for, or I can give it to somebody that's homeless. Doesn't make me any difference. I'll be gone. I won't know if you enjoying it or not. You know what I'm saying? So he's had to learn that. And once he learned that about me, this time after he's been fired 4 times, now sometimes he's in the office before me. Like this morning he got up there and this morning he was up and he was at a house that we got engaged and he had to go finish laying rocks out, and we do fix and flips. So he had to go finish laying the rocks out. He had to meet the septic man up there, but it frees me up to do other income producing activities to be able to pay them,
Yeah.
Carla.
So I want to ask you, so you went from sleeping in the car and then like you just basically went up from there. So that 5 years, was that in that period of that 5 years? Like, did you meet your goal?
No.
So how long did it take you? Like, because I
worked 3 jobs for 6 years and put the checks in shoeboxes to get to where I am today.
Damn.
And why did you put the checks in shoeboxes?
Because I didn't want to cash them. I didn't want to cash them out. That was the only way I could save money because I wasn't taught how to save money. And so, like, literally, I worked at Shoe Carnival. I worked at a place called Bridgewater, and I worked for Dr. Stokes. And Shoe Carnival had to reissue me the checks because after so long, there wasn't any good.
You only get 3 months. I was going to ask you. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that at that time. I just knew what my goals were, and I wanted to make those happen. So there was a span to where it was like all I was about was hustle and flow. I mean, I was working those 3 jobs, and on the weekends, I was delivering yellow pages just to make extra money. And then I signed up to sell life insurance just to make extra money because I could do those 2 things on my own, on my own terms. So it was definitely, but it was the work ethic that my dad instilled in me that I got so mad at him about because none of my other sisters and brothers had to do that. But you got me up.
You the oldest, aren't you?
I was gonna say that. Yeah, you gotta be the oldest. We always gotta do other stuff.
Yes. But I was so mad at him but just hustling for those 6 years, it just got me. It got me up to where I could buy that little $50,000 house. I could, and then I worked those jobs, and I was able to put money into the house to kind of make it nice and stuff like that. And that's we actually still own that house today. So we rent that same house right now. We rent out for $1,050.
Okay, all right. You said you were talking about credit, right? I'm trying to have me a 900 credit score. I know it ain't. I know, I know it's
not a 900.
Yeah, I want a 900, right?
I got you.
But, I know the game comes with a price tag, but what is one freebie that you can give our listeners? One freebie, because they got to go to your website to get the real game. But what is one freebie that you can give them to help them fix their credit?
There is really so many freebies, but it's really like information that we don't know. So one thing that I see on just about everybody's credit report that comes to me is collections. Collections, most of them are medical bills. But what they don't know is that when you go to Stringfellow or Regional Hospital, you sign a HIPAA form. Now, the moment that you don't pay that hospital, they turn your information over to a third-party collection agency, which is a violation of your HIPAA.
Of HIPAA? Oh my God.
So those medical bills are easy collections to get off because they violated your rights. So what we do, we're going to send a letter one time. We're going to give you one chance to get it right because you just violated the law. And when you don't,
violating HIPAA is crucial.
And that's cool. So we can sue you and you can pay $1,000 per occurrence, or you can just delete it from my credit report. And that's the goal anyway, is just delete it from my credit report so I can have a higher score, you know?
Mhm.
So that's one free thing. Another free thing is like repossessions. I have not found a company today that legally repossess cars. So when a person has a repossession on their credit report, the company comes and get it, and they're supposed to let it sit there for 30 days and give them a right to come back and get it. They don't. They come and get that car. That next week, they're taking that car to auction to sell it.
Mhm.
Guess what? That's the violation. So when they do use that violation, you know, hey, we're coming after you. We're coming after you with the laws, you know. And if you violated the laws, we can do one of two things. We can sue you, or you can just delete it from the credit report. And at the end of the day, we just want to delete it from the credit report, you know. And then a lot of things. This is. I'm gonna give one more freebie. This is my third one.
Go ahead.
One thing people don't know about foreclosures. This is foreclosures. When a house goes into foreclosure, you pay what's called either private mortgage insurance if it's a conventional, or a mortgage insurance premium. When your house goes into foreclosure, and let's just say, for instance, you owe $150,000 on your house, and they sell your house for 175,000 because the value of it have went up because you've taken care of it, but you got divorced and now y'all you can't make the note without both incomes. They're
Mhm.
supposed to give you that money. That's the difference, and they don't.
Damn.
Who
So
came? Who came ready, y'all? Y'all better.
yeah, that's the
Y'all,
way that, you know, the foreclosure game is so strong around here, and it's just like you just see people get ripped off, and they you know, they think
Yeah.
as agents that we're coming to them trying to take their house from them and stuff like that. But you know, I've tried to set the norm around here to where, hey, no, we're the difference. You know, I cater to all of the people that's got 580s, you know, but some the lenders around here, 640 and up, if you ain't 640, they ain't messing with you. They don't want the hard files. I want the
Mm.
hard files. Give me the hard files, because I can pretty much just about look at them and tell you what, you know, like, hey, I got you on this. I see a violation here. This violation, this right here is reporting incorrectly. This is a code 23. It need to be a code 16. You know, so it's just different. It's just different things
Wait a
that
minute. So when they come when they come try to get a house from you, you help them with their credit?
I do.
Wow.
Man, come on,
Wow.
I
chill,
have
Okay.
chill one.
Okay.
my whole
Wow.
motto here is
Who
all of the
does
bad credit
that?
people.
They just girl by. You crazy? You ain't coming in here with that. Wow,
Because but
that's
that's my
amazing.
soft spot, because you got to remember, somebody gave me that one chance.
Yep.
That Miss Judy Kirkland gave me
Pay
that
it
one chance.
forward.
So that's my soft
Yes.
spot, you know.
Shout out to Miss
And
Kirkland.
yeah,
Jesus.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And
Yes.
so I like to pay it forward. I had a lady, if y'all look at my Facebook page, the lady that closed yesterday, was it yesterday, day before yesterday? She gave me a huge shout out. She said, girl, she said, after people seen that judgment on my credit report, they wouldn't even call me back. She said, but somebody told me to call you. She said, this is the happiest day of my life. I live for moments. You know, those
Exactly.
are the moments that I live for.
Exactly.
Those
That
are the
that that it's not, and it's those type of payments right there that money can't even buy.
Right,
It can't.
right.
It
Mhm.
can't.
You know, and just to even know that, but it's really just lack of knowledge. People, you know, people
Yeah.
agents just don't get involved enough to know, you know, how to help those type of people when a lender do turn them down. You
Yeah.
know, like my agents in my office, like I teach them, okay, when a lender turned them down, the question is, why did they turn them down?
Yeah.
You know, did
Mm.
they turn them down because of score? Because we can always fix that. We know 35% made up of payment history. We know we can get them a credit card reporting within the next 15 days. You know, so if that's 182.5 points of a credit score right there. So if
Damn.
knowing that the next 30% is made up of amounts, oh, that's 165 points on the chart. There's no
Mhm.
reason why you shouldn't be able to get these people qualified. You know,
Okay.
when you know what the two major components of a credit score is, you know how to get their score up. Okay, now if their score is up, but they've had like we had one yesterday that her score is very close to a 580, but she had a bankruptcy 2 years ago, and then she's had collections and late payments after the bankruptcy. Nah, boo, you ain't got your life together. You're not our audience. But the people that's got a little money, that's got their life in order, they got on time payment history and stuff like that, and they just can't see
Yeah.
their score go up. It may be the mix of credit,
Mhm.
you know. So it's just different things. I can look at that score chart and make up that score chart to be 100% always, you know.
Wow.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
so yeah, so I knew that this will be good, but we like 15, 20 minutes in, and I'm in church over here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. No, seriously. Seriously, my brother
Yeah.
is like the king of getting cars repoed. So I'm like, I got a little trick for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell them, follow, link, like, and subscribe though.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So off kilter, real second. Let me take you off of money for a second and ask you, like, why do you think that this type of information isn't common knowledge? Like, what I mean, because you had to go out and get yours, you know what I'm saying, firsthand experience. I'm tired of living like this. Like, and obviously, like, I was around for like a lot of this stuff, right? So seeing it happen, right? And then I kind of went away, did the military thing, and then when I came back, you're a fucking mogul, right? So like, why do you think this information is not common knowledge?
I don't really per se know that it's not common knowledge. It's just you only know what you know, and what you don't know, it can hurt you. You know, people be like, well, I have people to say all the time, well,
Wait,
what I don't,
run that. So what you don't know can hurt
what
you.
you don't know can hurt you. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can close more deals if you just knew a little bit about credit repair. Or you could help more families close if you knew a little bit about credit repair. If you knew what the laws was for HIPAA or for foreclosures or for repossessions, or for charge-offs or for bankruptcies for that matter. You can even get a bankruptcy deleted off your credit report. Now that's a whole nother story. I personally, I don't delete Chapter 13 bankruptcies. People come to me sometimes and they say, oh, well, will you delete my bankruptcy off my credit report and stop me from getting the house? It's not the bankruptcy. Why? Because if you've made payments on that bankruptcy on time for 5 years, you have on-time payment history on your credit report. So if I delete that bankruptcy, that's going to delete that on-time payment history and it's going to drop your score.
Oh shit.
Damn.
So it's just little things like that. Now, Chapter 7, yeah, you can delete those, and that's because that's basically saying you didn't pay your debt. But it's still gonna come back up on cavers if the person that's doing your credit repair don't know what they're doing. So
All right, Kendra, I think it's your question. I think, but sure.
It's my turn, yes. And I have a question. Okay, so you mentioned that you bought your first house from I'm sorry, what was the lady's name?
Miss Judy Kirkland.
Miss Judy Kirkland.
Miss Judy Kirkland,
that name is a legend.
Yeah, she's a legend. And she let you buy it on a owner. You said in a owner's loan.
Owner finance.
Owner finance. So what is the difference between an owner finance and a bank finance? And is one or the other better?
Owner finance is good for people that's got bad credit. And girl, when I tell you I had bad credit, I come by water on credit. Do you hear me? Like literally, I didn't have no choice but to learn because I was too broke to pay somebody. And I literally had to read books to learn how to educate myself to actually get there, But yeah, so owner finance is just where you may get a house in your name for me. You're holding the note, but you as the owner are financing me. So your note may be now she already owned the house. So my note was just the note. But what she could have done was instead of me paying that $525 a month. Now this was some years ago, y'all. It was that same house now rents for $1,050, but I was paying $525 a month on that $50,000 house. And she just wanted to know, but she could have told me, okay, well, my note's $525, but I want $750 for this.
Oh, and then she could make money from that too.
She could have, but she wasn't, she wasn't educated enough to do that. She just wanted, literally, she was on Social Security and she couldn't make the notes on the house that she stayed in and that house. She just wanted somebody to actually make the note.
Okay.
Hey man, God works in mysterious ways, man. Maybe she just put it. She just worked it out that way. Yeah, it was favor.
It was definitely for me.
All the steps, man. Carla.
All right, so I mean, it's just so much. So, how long did it take for you to like close on your first deal?
I'm sorry, it broke up just a little bit.
How long did it take for you to close on your first deal?
Oh, I closed 37 days after I became a real estate agent.
Yes.
37 days. I was Rookie of the Year from the Southeast region, my very first year in real estate. So if you look me up, I was at Keller Williams at the time before I bought into the Remax franchise, but I was Keller Williams Rookie of the Year and Realtor of the Year for the Southeast region, meaning all of Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, and
Nice.
Louisiana.
Okay. So like in 37 days, is that soon or is that average or is that like
That's exceptional. Like most agents
Yes.
close like one deal their first year.
Nice.
So,
Okay. Okay.
Man, what? All right.
Magic. That black girl magic.
Okay. For someone who might be afraid of the real estate market, you said you own Airbnb. You said what is it, 20 or 30 Airbnb?
we have 23 rentals, one
I know.
Airbnb,
I
and
know.
a trailer park.
Okay. So for someone who might be afraid of the real estate market, would Airbnbs be the route to take, or?
Well, that's a good question. So I would say yes. So I not necessarily discovered Airbnb because I've been in real estate forever, seems like, but Airbnb, I was testing the waters, so it kind of happened on accident. But I listed, we bought this house. This house it was going to be our first 6-figure flip. We paid $75,000 for the house cash. We put $23,000 into it, and we listed it for like 229. So it was going to be a 6-figure flip for us. It was just kind of like, okay, let's just put it on the market. But I told my husband, I said, it's something, I never get attached to my flips, but it was something about that particular house that I didn't want to sell it. So he was like, nah, you said, we got goals, and we had talked about what we was going to do with the money when we got it. And anyway, it was something about it. So we had it under contract. We was going to sell it. The deal fell through. We had it under contract the second time, and the deal fell through. And so I'm like, well, it's okay. Like, I'm just gonna list it on Airbnb just to kind of see what we can do, and listed it on Airbnb. And I mean, I only had like 5 or 6 pictures up. Listed it on Airbnb the first night. Like, I listed it when I woke up that morning. We had 2 bookings. The rest of that day, we turned it to 4 bookings. So within 24 hours, we had 4 bookings on it, and we were charging like $149 a night. Well, we had a 3-night minimum. So now, if I rented that house out, the most I could probably get was $1,500. But if I keep the lights, water, and the internet on, I had made $2,800, like almost $2,800 in just like 48 hours. Because the 4 turned into 6 because we were doing it at $149 a night with a 3-night minimum, $100 cleaning fee, and a processing fee. So every time somebody rented it, we were getting like $700. So it just kind of, like I said, that one happened on accident, but Airbnb, like, we're looking for some more right now. We got
that happened on accident. Oh my God. That's a good accident.
So we were just
Stop. Wait. Wait. You made $2,800 on accident. That's what you're telling me.
Yep. Paid the light bill, paid the water bill. I'm like, got a little change left.
Okay. All right.
So let's shift it again, right? I'm kind of that dude, right? Salute to the great man Jeff, right? Tell him I said what's up.
He's trying to come on a podcast. I'm like, no.
But that's kind of what I want to talk about, right? So like with all of this talk around like social media about modern women and being breadwinners and who's the head of the household.
Ooh, Dewan, I like where you going with this.
I don't.
This is my kind of question.
So let's get into the dynamic of like how your business, and when I say your business, is run, because I mean, like I kind of know the inside scoop, right? Like I kind of get I got private information, but let's talk about because you're a God-fearing woman, right? And then how does submissiveness come into play when it comes to decision making and what's best for the business? Like, who makes that call?
So if we both don't agree, it don't happen. That's our motto. Like if we're both not in agreement, one can be like, but yeah, like, and a lot of times I have to talk him into stuff. I'm like, but it's such a great deal, and da 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 da. You know, like when we got Lakeshore, it had blue carpet. It was infested with ladybugs. It had a green bathrooms. It had blue bathrooms. It had wallpaper, and the house had been on the market for $179,000. So like literally, the house was like a turd, and people was like, most people would be like, no. But if y'all go look up if y'all go look up the Airbnb now, y'all will be like, wow. If I send y'all the before pictures, y'all will be like, OMG. I mean, it had paneling on the walls and all this stuff right here, so it was a turd. But we bought, we got it anyway. We just bought another one, and my husband pulled up to it and he said, excuse my French, but he was like, you need to burn this shit down, but I can't wait to go and let him see the after, because he's not into real estate. He's into construction. He's into automotive things. He doesn't see the things that I see when I walk in the house, and I'm like, oh, this is fixable. And they started it, and we're changing. It was a chalet style house, but we're changing the whole floor plan to open up the living room and things like that. So when he go back in it, it'll be another aha moment for him. But it's not his field expertise, so he just kind of let me roll with whatever. But that's our main thing.
I think you gotta have like that eye, because you said he didn't see it, but you saw it. You gotta have an eye for certain things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we
yeah.
got it for 40. It was worth 64 before we even bought it for 40. So we already had immediate equity going into it, buying it. The house that's next door to it, that shares a fence, is for sale for $159,000. It's a no-brainer,
You
you
right.
know.
Yeah, yeah, you right. You
But
right.
so even if we flip it, or even if we hold it, I want to hold it for Airbnb because I like the slow money better. He kind of into the fast money, he flip them, you get you cash out or whatever. But I'm liking the slow money because I'm ready to retire, but I know my lifestyle. I like to travel and stuff like that. You need to have that income still coming in,
Mhm.
to where I don't have to
Mhm.
be here to sell a house or to flip a house or whatever. You still need that money coming in every month to kind of, bridge that gap. So
So I mean, I feel like you answered my question, but you didn't answer my question,
yeah,
right?
tell me.
so, no, so when it comes to like so the decision making, so you guys are more of like a 50-50 type of couple, right? Where it's kind of like we both need to be in on this, and or is it like when it comes to like a flip or something like that, like do you like go to his construction business for like, hey, what would it take to do this, and then he's like, yo, what can we resell this at real quick? Like, is it a quid pro quo type deal?
Yeah, so I'm actually like the quote unquote secretary for his construction business. So I know I'm more in tune with the numbers than he is.
Oh shit.
So like he doesn't know when he's fixing the houses. So he doesn't know when plywood goes from $40 to $52 to $80.
Mm.
So when it comes, so everything we go to, I go on a walkthrough with him because I'll be like, hey, this material just went up, today. We have people at Webb's Concrete that call us and, hey, Tan, if you got anything coming up, if plywood's going up to $80 a sheet, buy everything that you can, and we don't have any right now. Go to
Webb's still
Lowe's
in
and buy
business.
what you can. Hmm.
Webb's is still in business.
They are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, just having people like that in your pocket, but like I know his numbers, I do his invoices because if like, like I do, the market is changing so much. Like what we could do last year for 20,000 is it took like 80,000 to do this year. Like I
Mm.
meant, because plywood was $7 a sheet this time last year, to where this year right now it's upwards of $80. So it's, yeah. So if you got a house that you got to redo, you got to rip out all the floors and stuff like that in, you better be counting them $80, boo, because them things add up quick. So I hope that
Got
answered
you.
your question. So
No, it did. It did. No, it did. It did. Carla.
Is it my turn again? I just won.
Yes, it's my turn because Eric, you went after Eric.
It's
The
Kendra's turn.
one. Yeah,
Kendra.
that's okay. It's fine. I wanted to ask you, when you first got started with your business, starting your business, like getting it off the ground, did you have a support system?
You got to remember, my mama's side of the family was broke, and my daddy wasn't handing me nothing unless I worked for it.
Mm.
So it wasn't. There was no support system. It was straight building with Jeff from the ground up. And there were days where I'm like, hey babe, I need your check. I need my check. We need to go borrow this money. We need to do this. But at any given time, I may come home and he may have a $20,000 check. He may have a $50,000 check. He might have gave me 3 or 4 thousand, and that 3 or 4 thousand is now 20 or 30,000. So didn't have a support system, just him. Just
So
him.
that was your
Easy.
support system.
Yeah.
What do you, how important do you think that support system is? Because even if you have one person, that's better than having nobody. So how important do you think how detrimental to your success do you think having him as a support system was to you?
Well, I'm kind of headstrong, and I had to learn to be a humble woman
Okay.
because my very first marriage took me through the ringer. And honey, I had made up in my mind I was not letting another bring me down. Do you hear me?
I'll say it for you. She not gonna let another nigga bring her down.
That was my motto and my mindset. But girl, and I was so mean to him, but he was so sweet to me. And it's just like I just had to ask myself, okay, what would it be like if this man wasn't in my life?
Yeah.
3 rings later, 3 proposals later, my dad was like, hey, men don't they don't like to be told no. But the third time I was just kind of like, I think I'm ready. I think he's the one. And now I wish I had married him sooner, because we'd probably be so much further than what we are.
Wow. I'm like the relationship person, so I have more, I want to ask a little bit more.
Yeah.
But when you talk about having a humbling moment, can you talk a little bit more in detail on like what and how it started hitting you that you needed to actually take this man up on his offer?
So he had to knock down walls because I went through so much. Okay, so I got pregnant at 17, and my senior year, and I was pregnant by a preacher's son, and we got preached on in the pulpit, so that ruined me. A wall went up. That same preacher's son got my cousin pregnant, and they're now
Not
married.
your blood cousin.
And they're now married, but hey, it is what it is. So I was like, okay, well, I'm like, okay, no biggie. So then I'm into the church heavy. So then I married a minister of music. And then he was messing around with a woman in the church. I'm like, okay, hold on. So I had to do a reality check.
Lord Jesus.
Like,
see, this is why I don't go to church right here. So y'all can get mad at me if you want
to. hey, Carla, kill that glass.
No, seriously. I had to do a reality check.
Damn it,
I had to do a reality check on me. I had to do a reality check on me. Why am I being cheated on?
Yeah.
Your game ain't strong enough, boo.
Yeah.
But there's classes for that. Yes. You hear me?
Okay. Accountability.
Yes. I had to look at myself.
Yes.
And be like, okay, what is she offering that I can't offer? There's classes for that. Anything that you ain't ready for, there's classes for that. So I had to, get myself in order.
Carla, you muted, I think.
Whatever.
Am I muted?
Oh, okay. No, I thought you was.
But I had to get myself in order or whatever, and then go from there. Mm-hmm. So went from there or whatever. And I'm, with him, I'm just kind of like, you cuddy buddy, you cuddy buddy.
So did you feel like, yeah, you talk a good game, but I don't know. Like, did you have that type of feeling towards him?
No, it wasn't. I like big men, 6'1", 286, 260, linebacker, girl. That's my type.
That's Carla's type.
But my husband is 5'8", 5'9", maybe 180.
Wow.
Yeah, out here. Sorry.
The opposite from my type, from what I thought was my type.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn that sometimes it may be the people that you don't like that can take you to the places where you want to go. And now, girl, I tell you, I wish I had married that man sooner. I wish I had married him sooner. I wish I had married him sooner. I had so many walls up from my first two, my son's dad, getting pregnant by him at 17, getting married at 21 to another man. and him sleeping with that lady in the church, and just kind of going from there. And I just built up a wall to where I was angry at all men, you know.
Yeah.
And so
Shout out to all the dudes under 6 feet.
Facts.
but
Did you do some type
Facts.
in that process? Like, what did you do? Did you go to therapy? Like, because you had to have done some type of healing.
Yeah.
Because you said it took.
I didn't, not necessarily any healing. I put my frustration out on working, and that's what I kept myself busy, so I didn't have time to date.
Okay.
When you work 3 jobs, you don't have time to date. I don't have time for it. Hey, well, you have time. You make time for what you want time for. Is what people say and stuff. Yeah, that's true. But I want to be at work. I don't want to go on a date. Plus, when me and him first met, the way he asked me out totally swept me off my feet. It was like
Talk
it
to
was not
me.
like
Now
it
you have
wasn't.
to tell us.
Hey, I need to
Back
know.
to.
It wasn't like what up, Shawty, or whatever. When me and him worked together, this was at my other job. We worked together at Bridgewater, and I was sitting there minding my business on a bench, and I was reading Harp T. Ecker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And he said, you inspired me. And he's like, why don't you tell me what the book was about? And I'm looking at him like, nigga, please, what men don't read, or whatever. Well, he had to use the bathroom. He came back out and he was like, why don't you tell me what the book was about? I'm really interested. Well, the bell rung and he had to go back to the line. He walked by me later and said, you never did tell me what the book was about. Why don't we discuss this over dinner?
Okay.
And my mouth just, and he
He's slick with it.
when he said it, he just walked off and just left me standing there like, he didn't even wait for an answer, like
Damn.
and I was like,
Yeah.
that was smooth.
Yeah, was okay.
But check it, I'm still married though, because I'm too broke to get a divorce. I can't afford it.
Okay. Wow,
And so
yeah.
anyway, I agreed to go on a date with him and stuff like that. And he lived in Jacksonville. I lived in Hollis at the time, and he came from Jacksonville to Hollis to pick me up. And we were going to Birmingham because I didn't want nobody to see him, me and him together, because I'm still married. Well,
is that small out there?
No, you got girl.
Girl, I can literally take a dude in the same city and walk everywhere with him. Nobody would know.
No, yes, it's small out here. And so, but anyway, we went past one exit. After he came and got me, and I said, I can't do this. I'm feeling guilty inside. I just need to get my divorce final first, and then we can date. Well, and this man said, I understand. And he turned around, hit the next exit, and we went back to my house. And that gave me a different respect for him.
Yeah.
First of all, you done swept me off my feet by the way you asked me out. Second of all, I'm ready to argue with you about spending your gas money to come pick me up, and you gonna go on this date and because that's what I was accustomed to.
Yeah.
So I done got my smart mouth words ready and stuff. But when he said I understand, I just kind of it was one of those levels that he had to knock down. I had this wall built up because I was mad. And that was one of them levels that he knocked down. So as time went on, it was just little humbling experiences like that to where I was just able to sit back and relax.
Man, shout out to him, goddamn. Shout out to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So.
Absolutely. And I say this.
Great man, Jeff. Hey, Jeff is his name. Hey, put some respect on his man's name.
Yes, Jeff. Shout out to you. And this is what I be preaching on my show all the time: assertive men. Okay, he knew not just assertive, but persistent. He knew what he wanted. He had to propose to you 3 times, but he got it. Why? Because he was persistent and he knew what the fuck he wanted. Okay.
Okay, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, girl, it was so
This is a dark roast.
It was so funny. Like his parents thought he was gay because he never brought a woman home. And he told his parents, he said, when I bring her home, you're going to know she the one.
Damn. And you was the one.
I was the one.
Girl, stop. I'm getting goosebumps. Please.
So, it's just funny.
But see, this
little things like that.
And this is what I be telling people out here, man. Like that's the reason for all the smoke that I bring to all the women all over social media, man. Because everybody has a type, right? Everybody's like, oh, I'm attracted to this, and this is what I want, and here's what I want physically, right? Then I said the other, you keep getting the same type of dude, and he keep doing the same type of shit. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. But when somebody took you out your comfort zone, right, and he didn't even argue with you when you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? And now look,
Okay, that's what I meant. That's what I mean. But that's a man. That is a fucking man right there.
Yes, that is us. That is us.
Okay.
I'm in that. I'm in that category.
That man's name is Jeff. Let's put some respect on his name.
Put
Yes,
some
Jeff.
respect
Shout
on
out to
Jeff's
you.
name.
Shout out to Jeff.
Carla. Carla, talk to me.
Okay, hold on, wait. Let me see what I wrote down.
Carla got to get her shit together.
No, my shit is together. It's just that she kind of already answered all of my questions, so I'm just like, okay. Can we skip me because
E.
Yo, I got some bullshit. All right, for real. I'm gonna be honest with you. So, I really ain't got nothing, so I'm just winging it. So, hey, yo, y'all know me. Y'all know me. So, like, so are you saying like you already answered the question, but I want to know like the maintenance and the upkeep on Airbnbs, like. Is it a safe if I wanted to invest in Airbnbs? Because I've been thinking about it for about 9 to 10 months. No, about 10 months. Airbnbs, the maintenance and upkeep. Is it a gamble to worth taking?
It's amazing. It's. I mean, your house is
Okay.
being cleaned professionally 2 and 3 times a week when people check
You know
out and
what?
check in.
Gotcha.
So that I mean, like there's no upkeep. The people are paying for the upkeep for you because they're keeping the house clean and you having to sanitize it and clean the baseboards and clean out the cabinets and clean out the refrigerator once or twice a week, depending on the check-ins and stuff like that. So there's really no upkeep.
So the processing and all of the like when you say you made $2,800 in like 48 hours because of the bookings
By accident.
by accident. No, I'm sorry. My bad. By accident. So that takes care of the upkeep of the cleaning of the house because everybody's don't want to get hit with that charge, right? So
Airbnb, you automatically if they book your house, it's automatically gonna add on a booking cleaning fee. So they're gonna pay their nightly stay plus a cleaning fee. And we already had a lady cleaning our house and our offices and stuff like that. So
so she just got it on.
Airbnb.
She just got it. Okay. All right. All right.
I'll just put her on like that. That's interesting you asked that, Eric, because one of the things that I've always wanted to do is I've always wanted to invest in a property and then kind of like lease it out. But like after hearing you now, it makes more sense to go to Airbnb route. Like you can like accidentally making $2,800, like as opposed to like having to keep your fingers crossed that you're gonna get 1,500. That's dope. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and really, my soft spot has always been like the single moms and stuff like that. And if I invest here, I invest in the ghetto. For one, because no one other investors invest in the ghetto, and I can get houses for $10,000. Things like that all day long. They may need roofs. I mean, sometimes I can walk. I've walked in a house to where it was mold in it. It was raining on the inside, and I could see the ground on the bathroom. But I paid $3,500 for that house.
Hmm.
And then you can use whatever else to go ahead
put a roof on top of that mug. Added a piece of plywood when it was $7 a sheet. Couple of pieces of plywood, threw a new tub in that mug, threw some new floors in there, slapped some paint on the walls, bought some new appliances. I was all in for $12,000. I made my money back in 2 years. That house now is cash flow for us, straight cash flow.
So I have another question for you. This is
you teach classes.
I actually do. I do.
Dead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Carter. Go.
Oh, you're good, Eric. You're good. So I know like you're into investments and all of this and like, basically building up assets, right? So like, this might be a little off key, but do you invest in like stocks and bonds? Like, do you trade or do you do any of that?
Yeah, so I tried it and I lost 25,000. And so it's not for me. That's just my thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I tried it with a professional coach. Yes, I lost 25,000. And I'm like, real estate, there's really no risk. People gonna always have to have somewhere to stay. So I personally don't. Now I do have stock, but I mean, it may be $14,000 or something that they just kind of play
You
around
let
with
them
and stuff
build
like
up.
that. But
Yeah.
as far as anything else, like people gonna always need a place to stay. I could have bought 2 houses in the ghetto with that 25,000, and been getting a new, and been getting, 600 or 700 a month out those two with that money, but I lost it. So it's not for me, but I'm not saying it's not, I'm not saying it don't work. I'm just saying it's not my expertise or a cup of tea.
It's all good. It's all good. I was just curious because, like Eric said, like you wear so many hats, so like it wouldn't surprise me, like if you dibbled and dabbled in some stocks and like traded or
I did.
had some.
I've tried it now. And my girlfriend, actually, when we were in Phoenix this past weekend, we rented out an Airbnb for my friend Ryan. Um, she was mentioning like Forex trading and things like
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, but girl, girl, I could have gave that 25,000 to somebody homeless and been on TV and blew my name up. I
Yeah,
just,
you
and
have
stuff
to do
like
your
that.
own
But
research when it comes to stocks. Like you have
yeah,
to.
so it's not for me. But like I said, I mean, there are some people that are graded. I
I
mean,
feel
my
you.
na- my neighbor, I sold his house, and shout out to him. But he has 8 kids, and him and his wife split up, and they was hitting him with child support. He quit his job and traded full time stocks.
He
Damn.
can't pull out a driveway. Wait,
Yeah,
the fact that you just casually, yeah, I lost $24,000. Wait a minute, that's so okay. You know what? I need to
But
get
the
in
Casually,
stock market is
Airbnb
ca-
casually.
casually.
Casually. Okay. All right. You know what? I need to quit my job and get me an Airbnb.
get
God
into
damn.
real estate.
it's
I
it's
need you.
crazy. Like I am in a group message with a few guys who trade, like all they do all day every day is trade all day. And I remember like last year during the pandemic, when it was like at its peak and we were all kind of isolated and stuff like that, like these guys were losing like 50 and 100K in a day. So like that's why when you said that, I was like, yeah, it happens.
I mean, well, stocks is a long game though. Because I'm heavy into stocks. With what I'm saying, like I recently I cleaned up quite nicely recently with like Disney, Carnival Cruises, airlines and stuff like that because COVID took the stocks down to almost $50 a share, right? And it's one of those kind of things where you can kind of move it around. But now that the world is opened back up and the airlines are like hiking the prices like more so, like, I cleaned up recently, but I'm not gonna lie, there are days that make me want to, I'm saying, go to like the tallest building in Boston and take a leap of faith. You know what I'm
You
yeah, so
Soldier Boy off that thing.
you know what I'm saying. So like stocks is a whole different game, man. Where it's all about how the market is feeling and who and stocks. So stocks are real. I'll say this: real estate is based in certainty because, like Tan said, like you're always gonna need somewhere to live. Like stocks and funeral parlors and cemeteries, right? You'll always make money there, right? And stocks is based off of politics. Stocks is based on politics and how the people are feeling and investors and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, it's a crazy game like that. But here's my question. How do you feel about Section 8? Being a realtor. Like, so when you invest in the ghetto, is like Section 8 something that is that something that you like consider, or do you put your houses in the ghetto on Section 8 so that you ensure that you get your money, or is it like does that devalue the property? Like, how does that work?
It doesn't devalue the property if you buy the block.
Oh shit,
So
that's a
you don't
bar.
want to you can buy one house on the block, but if everybody else ain't keeping their house up on the block, you need to be sending them postcards, letters like, hey, I'll give you 25 right now. It might only be worth 15, but it's gonna be worth more if you can bring the look of the block up. So it's worth paying that extra 10,000 to get them to move out at that time. So you're losing 10,000 up front, but when you bring that block back up, all the houses look alike and stuff like that, you start to see your property values go up.
Wait. Wait. What was that? That was a bar. That was a fucking bar. What was it? It don't bring the property down if you own the block. Is that what you said?
She said.
Buy the block.
She said
Buy
it
the
don't
block.
bring the property value down if you buy the block. Put that on the t-shirt.
That was a bar.
That needs to be in the
Put that on the you know what to do.
Yeah.
I know what to do. I got you. I got you, coach. I got you, coach. Kendra.
Don't ask me no more questions.
So
Don't ask me shit. I got nothing.
So first, I'm with you on the stock, even though I don't understand it. What I do understand it about it is that it is a gamble, and my aunties and they can't stand me because I won't go to the casino and gamble with them. I don't like to play with money. I like guaranteed money, and I don't really like little money either. I like a certain, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not cool with like $15 here, $15 there. So I feel you with that. So I have. What is my next question? Okay, so here's my question. So Dewan mentioned Section 8, right? And I know some people who were on Section 8 from maybe like from their 20s to damn near 50 years old, right? And when the person got put out, they had no real life experience and was like pretty much at this point is struggling with real life payments, like real rent. What is there any advice you would give to someone on Section 8 that's like currently on Section 8, and because it's not a forever thing? And then what I'm noticing in the Black community is like they'll stay on there and then get out here and be struggling.
Yeah, so I was on Section 8.
Okay.
So I was on Section 8. I was a single parent, 17, and my Aunt Lisa, the same house that Buddy and them stayed in, my Aunt Lisa and them, the lady was nice enough.
Lisa's my mom. Hi, mom.
Oh, okay.
The same house that they were staying in, the lady let me, the day I came home from the hospital with my son, she let me move in that house. I moved in that house, girl. I was so broke. They gave me $137 check per month to pay my utilities.
Wow.
So I was upside down, negative. But I moved from that apartment into a single wide trailer, into a triple wide trailer, into a single family home, into where I live now. So there was baby steps. There wasn't like literally I had to know that I didn't want to stay there. That's the first thing. It's all
is that what it
mindset.
Is? That's what I was gonna say.
Choices. It's all choices. You have to know that you don't want to raise your kids in the projects or whatever. You have to want better for you and your kids. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
So that'll be the first thing. But some people, sometimes it's just an awareness. People don't think about it. They just got a roof over their head. They're able to provide food for their kids. So they don't think about being better in life and things like that, because sometimes it's where you come from. And if your parents all grew up on Section 8 and nobody's ever said something to you like, hey, why don't you go see if you can get you a trailer?
Yeah.
And that's your first step. So now you go from renting an apartment to renting a trailer.
Yeah.
And then you go from renting a trailer to renting a triple wide. Well, we actually bought the triple wide, but we lost it. When I went through my first divorce, that triple wide was gone, baby. Like I couldn't afford it. Yeah. And the payments was only $780, but at that time, I was in nursing school at that time. So, but it was hard, but there's stepping stones. You always have to take steps that will get you to that next level. Like when you take that first step, that's a baby step. You take that second step, and then you just climb the ladder and go from there. So like I said, it may be an apartment, and then you may be in the projects. You may go from the projects to a standard apartment, from a standard apartment to a single wide, from a single wide to a double wide, from a double wide to a triple wide, from a triple wide to a single family, from a single family to multifamily. Like literally you have to be wanting to take those baby steps.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing.
To get out of where you are.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. When we talked to Mika, I asked her something about something along the lines of money management, and she said the same thing. It comes down to mindset. It's crazy how many of us, like, we in the Black community, we're just so content. Just like you said, if everybody in every generation has been on Section 8, we don't know anything outside of that. And that's why I asked these questions, and I'm glad that this is like on YouTube, because you never know who can run across this video and be like, damn, I never thought about that. Because to me, I wish I could be on Section 8. Give me Section 8 for 6 months and watch what I do with my money, So it's crazy
Right.
when I see
Facts.
these people on Section 8 just, like they have a nice car or they might be having this, and that. But it's like, and then when you get off Section 8, you go straight to struggling. It's crazy to me. It's like, I'm in my head, I'm like, why y'all don't take advantage of this? Like, you could be investing, like you could be doing, you could be buying, you could literally buy a house when you're kicked off of Section 8.
Well, believe it or not, there's a program to where you can buy a house while you're on Section 8. You can buy a house with your Section 8 voucher.
What?
Yes. So there is programs for that. So like
Damn.
I said,
Okay.
it's all a choice. It's a choice. But you have to be with somebody that's knowledgeable enough to take you there. You
Yeah.
can't hang around the people that's all in the projects because all of y'all got the same mindset.
Yes.
You have to find somebody that can mentor you out of where you are. Shout out to my mentor, Joy Russell. That's my best friend now. We travel the world together and stuff. But when I first became an agent, I reached out to her and she mentored me to where I am now.
Talk to these mindset. Talk to these.
Okay.
These Talk to these folks.
I had no clue. I had no idea you could, and I'm pretty sure everybody on Section 8 don't know that you could buy a damn house with your Section 8 voucher. So, wow.
I just want somebody to sell me some stamps, man.
I give you 20 for 50.
Exactly. I need that. Food expensive.
All right, cool, man. So Tan, we are at our hour. Listen, but we're about to.
Yeah, look, wait. Can we bring her back?
Yeah, we might need to bring you back for a part 2. Like, I could literally pick your brain for another hour.
You've already made a unanimous decision at this point.
Yes. So what I'm saying is we're all about the elevation of the community, right? And kind of like the message, the driving point behind our private stock, our YouTube conversations is to provide our community, everybody, but more specifically our community with information and resources that they can use to like elevate themselves, right? To help elevate themselves. I think that at every point somebody needs a hand up, right? But we're trying to get people out of the handout phase into picking themselves up, right? So this has been like a valuable conversation. So on Grown Man Logic, we do these things called parting shots, right? And that's going to give you an opportunity to, plug your stuff, the final thoughts, what you thought about the conversation, and things of that nature. So we want to hit these parting shots. So what you got?
Well, for me, I just wanted to say, like, I'm an open book. I'm not an overnight success. I've been pretty much probably lower than where anybody have been that reaches out to me, which allows me to be able to help them, get on those stepping stones and things like that. Like she said, California, I hook her up with Miss Kim, like literally if she's looking to buy in California, I got her, because it comes to setting those relationships with people all over the world. Miss Kim is an agent in Atlanta, but she's also an agent in California. So she's licensed in both states. I've been up to her condo rooftop up there. We did photo shoots and everything. So sometimes things are not always transactional. Sometimes you have to make things relational. And when you make relationships with people that are in higher places than you, they don't mind sharing the information with you that got them from where they are, where they were to where they are going or where they are now. So those are pretty much my final thoughts. So you just got to be willing to, take the baby steps to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Parting shots.
Man, listen, look, parting shots. I'm all over the place. Like Tan, I love you. Like you gave me so much motherfucking game. You should probably send me an invoice. I ain't even gonna lie. My parting shots though. She said she was a balanced free spirit, melanated, educated, and motivated. You don't have to worry about property value when you buy the block. Put that up, man. Man, I ain't really got shit, y'all. Look, I ain't got nothing. Like, yo, I was just like, to be honest with y'all, I forgot we were actually doing a show. So my parting shots, y'all know me. I'm here all the time. That's it. That's all I got. I ain't got shit. God damn.
K dot parting shots.
My partner shots is I'm glad you shared that story about you and your husband Jeff. Shout out to Jeff, by the way. Happy Father's Day to him.
Shout out to
Do you guys have kids together? But I mean, he's a stepfather anyway, right? So happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Jeff. Shit, we gonna say that.
But
yeah, we saying that.
I just absolutely love this interview because you talked about accountability as a woman, which is something that for sure our Black women are struggling with, taking the accountability, right? Because just like you said, it's so easy for us to go through a couple bad relationships and then go, men are trash, and not do that self-work. So I'm literally all about that. I talk about this all the time on my podcast, okay? And then something else that you said that I talked about that I have to reiterate here, even to myself. I try, I'm doing my best to check myself on this, but a lot of us are after that 6 feet man, 6 feet and above, and we
after that type.
Yes, that's my type. That's
You're ready to type.
And I'm just like, I know I say it on my podcast, and I'm saying it again. I say it to myself too. Like, what if you're Mr. Right ain't 6 feet, girl? So I'm glad that you said that, because you're like a walking coffee with Kendra conversation. Like, you could not, like, I could not get better than that. Your man is assertive and persistent. Like, I'm in love. I just wrote that in the group chat. Like, I'm in love with this girl. Like, everything about you, I'm just crazy about. And that's all I got.
Kendra, we here then. We here when. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm trying to think which way I want to go with this. All right, Carla, take us home.
Okay. So Tan, I must say that, like, you are the parting shot. Like, I don't know if I could come up with anything that, like,
okay. When we all co-signing this, you see this, right? We co-signing.
But you know what? Like, I really have major respect for you for this reason. Because a lot of our Black women, when we get successful, we forget where the fuck we came from, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I really appreciate about you is that you never forgot where you came from. It doesn't matter how much money you had. It doesn't matter about any of that. I know that because of the fact that, like, you went and you said, okay, well, I was living in a trailer, and then I went from here and then I went to there. But when you got it together, okay, well, now I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to buy some trailers. Like, that shows that, like, you never forgot where you came from. And it's a lesson to all little Black girls, grown Black women, that, anything that comes easy, like, will just leave you just as easy as you got it. Mm-hmm. And for you to go through that process and, like, conquer it, like Genghis Khan, like, that really, like, inspired me. And I want to say that, like, you are an amazing woman. I want you to keep doing what you're doing, keep dropping these gems.
Yes.
Because, like, I have been thinking about, investing in properties and what to do, and, like, you just literally altered my entire perspective around, like, what I want to do personally for, to build my assets. So I really want to thank you, Queen, for just dropping these gems. Like, Eric asked you to drop one gem and you dropped 3 of them, and you had no problem. And what's interesting is I'm in the medical field, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together about the HIPAA thing, right? HIPAA is in the medical world, that is everything. They will fine you. HIPAA will sue the shit out of you. So that will now I get it. It will scare the hell out of a creditor for them to have to go through that. So thank you so much for sharing that knowledge, and thank you for enlightening me personally on a personal level. And I can't wait to talk to you again.
Yes, I'm here for it for sure.
Hey, before I close this out, tell people where to find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook, Tan Akles, AKLES hyphen FITCH Fitch. So Tan Akles-Fitch on IG at Tan Akles-Fitch and Twitter, Tan Akles-Fitch, and LinkedIn, Tan Akles-Fitch. So so you can find me on all the platforms. I do I know um Eric Eric
Yes, ma'am.
Eric had asked me about coaching and stuff like that. We do have Six Figure Real Estate Academy where I teach and coach investors all over the world on how to just get started. Because people's like, okay, I'm broke, I have no money. How do I get started?
I'm
You can
already following you, so
you
expect
can
my
get
DM.
started. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can get
Yo,
started on the owner finance, different ways to get started and stuff like that. If you're looking to buy in other states, I pretty much have a connect in almost every state. And when I say connect, I'm talking about people that I travel with. A bunch of us are going to Barbados the end of July. The posse's going, the whole posse.
Okay.
So we empower each other when we go.
Barbados.
So,
listen,
yeah.
I got beef
It's
with
my
Barbados.
birthday.
I got beef with Barbados.
listen, grown folks about to talk soon as we turn this recording off. So stick around for a little
Stick
bit.
around.
Yeah, stick around for a
Okay.
little bit.
All right,
Once we stop the
yeah.
recording, grown folks about to talk.
I'm here for it.
So my parting shot and the end of the day, man. Our guest tonight, Tan, in addition to my cousin, who I love so dearly, right? In addition to being my cousin, she's a success. She's a success as a double minority. She's a success as a Black person. She's a success as a woman. She's a success as a single mom. She's a success as a married mom who's been through the trials and tribulations. So she's a walking example. She's a walking example of why excuses don't matter. If you want to do better, you will do better. This lady that we just interviewed right now, who I've never been more proud of in my life, right? Is a walking excuse of why excuses are bullshit, right? I've seen her grow up. We both compared both of our parents selling stamps, getting groceries off of stamps, to her losing it all, to now her traveling the world at her leisure. The world has become her option. So what's your excuse? What's your excuse? Because the truth of the matter is there is no. Thank you guys for tuning in with us tonight. This has been Grown Man Live with Private Stock. We will catch you on the next edition. This has been the Private Stock, man. Drop the mic, E. We out of here.
Oh shit.